What's up, everyone? I'm Ashley, and I'm so glad that you're here to kick off these next few weeks with us. Now, one of my favorite things about this time of year is a good party. So a few years ago, I started this new exercise regimen, and I joined a kickboxing boot camp for 12 weeks. And it was the most grueling 12 weeks I had ever endured. But at the end of the 12 weeks, the instructor let us know that we were going to throw a big party. So the whole kickboxing studio was going to come work out and then have this amazing party. Yes, while we were still barefoot on the mats. So we started out working out as normal, sweats everywhere. Everyone is just so exhausted. And then out of nowhere, this DJ comes in, the lights kick off, and it turns into a massive party. And why am I telling you about this party? Well, because over the next several weeks, we're gonna look at what it means to not just throw a party, but start a party. Now, before I go any further, let's be sure we're on the same page about what I mean by party. Think of it this way. A party is any effort to celebrate, serve, or enjoy being with others in a way that adds value to life. And with that in mind, a party starter is anyone who prepares the space for the party or who makes space for others to join the party. So while we should and definitely will party, what we're talking about is more than throwing an actual party. It's the idea that as followers of Jesus, we're invited to a life that feels vibrant, joyful, fun, and full of hope. Kind of like a party. Yeah, there are ups and downs, but Jesus said that he'd show us how to live a real, full life. And more than that, we're given the chance to invite other people to that same kind of life. But can we just get real for a second? For a lot of people, this probably sounds like a strange idea. All this church and Jesus and faith stuff, it kind of seems like the furthest thing from a party. I think that's because so many people think that being a Christian is just about following a set of rules. It's tons of stuff you have to do and even more stuff you're not supposed to do. And that doesn't sound like a party. There's not a lot about faith that sounds all that fun. And isn't a party supposed to be, fun? And this feels even more true when real life gets tough, when our circumstances are brutal, when we have to deal with really difficult things, when we experience real pain, suffering, and struggle, when we feel alone or have lost someone, when we can't find a reason to be excited about life, or when God feels really far away or silent. Well, nothing about that feels like a party. So what do we do? If as followers of Jesus, we have the power to be party starters, how do we do that when life and even faith don't always feel like the kind of party that we want to be a part of? Well, the good news here is that we don't have to guess at what Jesus would say about all of this. We have his real words written down by people who really knew him when he was on earth. In the book of John, one of the 4 books in the Bible that include real accounts from Jesus' life, we have a glimpse at something Jesus said about the kind of life that he wants for us. So take a look. The thief comes only to steal and kill and destroy. I have come that they may have life and have it to the full. Okay, first, Jesus is acknowledging that life can be really difficult sometimes. It can feel like all the joy and fun and good things in life have been stolen or killed or destroyed. And sure, that may sound a little dramatic, but if you've ever been through a really tough time in your life, you know that this is exactly what it feels like. And that's because there is an enemy, a thief, who doesn't want us to experience the life that Jesus came to give us, and who doesn't want us to be the party starters that Jesus calls us to be. But thankfully, Jesus didn't end the sentence there. Instead, Jesus kept talking. Look back one more time at what he said next. I have come that they may have life and have it to the full. So that thief that wants our lives to be filled with anything but fun and joy and goodness, Jesus is saying, that's not me. Jesus came to earth not to give us rules, restrictions, and a list of things that hold us back. No, Jesus came to give us life. And it's not just any kind of life, but a full, amazing, incredible life. The kind of life that feels like a party, because that's what life following Jesus should be. A life marked with the pursuit of joy and real connection with others. Think of this verse as an invitation. It's almost as if Jesus is asking, hey, do you want a full life? Great, because that's exactly what I came to invite you to. That's exactly what you'll get if you choose to follow me. Now, here's where this gets tricky. Our idea of what it means to have this full, amazing life may not always line up with what Jesus was talking about here. See, when I think about living a full life, I think about a life that is easy, light, and fun. No problems, no stress, no drama, no heartbreak. That sounds like a party to me. But like I said, real life isn't always like that. And that's not what Jesus is promising us here. The full life that Jesus came to give us isn't a life that's always easy. Instead, it's a life that empowers us to be the kinds of people who can choose peace and hope and joy and freedom because Jesus is in it with us, no matter what good or bad shows up in our lives. When we choose to follow Jesus, we're choosing to say yes to believing that his promise of a full life is possible, no matter what comes our way. It's choosing to believe that life with Jesus is an invitation to the best party we could possibly imagine. And because this is true, when we choose to follow Jesus, we choose to take on the responsibility of bringing that party to the world around us. See, because of Jesus, you have what it takes to be a party starter. You have the promise of a full life. And with it, you have the chance to let that full, amazing, good life spread to those around you. So what do we do now? Well, we look for ways to get the party started. And a party starts with an invitation. So a few years back, one of my friends was getting married and she invited me to this secret location. She sent out a text message and all she said was, just be here at whatever time she said. So I got there and there was this random person standing outside. I told them my name and he goes, you're number 4. And I'm like, okay. And I go into this secret location thing and there's this old school telephone booth and I have to pick up the telephone and I'm like, this is number 4. And I had to walk down these stairs into this basement thing. And it was, again, a massive party where she asked a whole bunch of friends to be her bridesmaids. So I know that was a really elaborate example of an invitation, but this invitation can be as simple as inviting someone to hang out at your lunch table, or as elaborate as throwing a huge party. This is now an invitation to you, an invitation for you to be a party starter who brings life everywhere you go. And how do you do that? Well, we look at the lives of other party starters, whether they are starting the party for others through serving or through creating spaces where others can thrive, through including the overlooked, or through spreading joy. We can learn just what it takes to be a party starter. Party starters are the people who are creating new things, starting businesses, using social media to share a powerful story, quietly meeting the needs of others, and so many other things. The actions of party starters in your circles are one of the ways that we can see God at work every day. You and I have no idea what it could mean to the people around us to get an invitation to the amazing good life that Jesus offers. And we don't know what's going on in their hearts and in their minds. And we sometimes wonder if that invitation would be imposing or offensive to someone. But maybe an invitation to the party offers hope that they're desperately seeking, even if they don't even realize it. So let's start handing out these invitations to the people around us by the way we live our lives. One of my favorite things about a good party is that it has the potential to mix things up for us. It can help us see more good, more fun, and more life happening all around us. A great party with great people shows us just how good life can be. It helps us recognize that we have what it takes to be a party starter. Now, over the next several weeks, we're going to talk a lot about what it means to live that full life that Jesus offers us. We're going to dive into what we can do to be the party starters that Jesus calls us to be. But as we close this week, I want you to ask yourself a couple of things. First, where do you need to change your mind about God? Maybe when it comes to all this faith stuff, you've been viewing God as the one who comes to steal, kill, and destroy all the fun in life. Maybe you've thought of God as being absent, boring, or uncaring. Maybe you haven't really thought that much about God at all. But remember, Jesus came to give us life. And because Jesus is God in human form, that means that we can look to Jesus to know more of what God is really like. We can look to Jesus to help us see God clearly. Now, the second question is this: how can I take a step towards starting the party? Remember, you have what it takes to be a party starter. So consider what step you want to take to celebrate, serve, or enjoy being with others in a way that adds value to life. Maybe it's responding to the invitation to join the party and follow Jesus. Maybe it's choosing to see your circumstances with a different perspective. Maybe it's simply talking to a friend or your small group about what it means to be a party starter. In fact, your small group is a great place to not just start the conversation, but to work together to start the party. So why not dive into talking this over together with them today? Whatever this may look like for you, I hope that you'll take a step this week toward the full life that Jesus offers. I hope that you'll take a step towards starting the party. You have what it takes to be a party starter. And this doesn't mean you have the ability to decorate or prep great food or create an amazing party playlist or come up with the ultimate guest list, although you might. It just means that because of Jesus, you have the ability to not just live the best life ever, but to invite others to do the same.